In the history of prison communities, many prisons have been made. The problem is, none have been inescapable. All have been escaped. But there are some innovations that make almost every single prison nearly inescapable. So, what makes this prison different? Security measures that no other prison has ever taken before, and combining everything all together to make it impossible to escape. Combining lava grid with countless layers. Visiting kill checks? I don't think so, which I'll explain in a bit. But more importantly, area bans surrounding everything so you can't wither it and you can't break it. So a visiting process starts with you entering the nether, which is completely surrounded with obsidian. You will actually re-enter, and you'll go into a 2-player check. Once you're through, the guards have confirmed that only 1 player is coming in, and you could enter into the item check. But what makes this item check different? No beds, so no end exploit is possible. Instead, it checks your entire inventory so that you can't even sneak in any items. Not that it'll matter, but we'll explain that in a bit. So you deposit all the items from your offhand and from your inventory into the barrel, and the guard can tell if you picked up all the items and if you've put all the items back. You'll be exposed to a big flying bridge, and you'll see the cell face to face. Now, if you're a prisoner, the route goes as follows. You'll go up this area and through this area where you'll see bones. Why? To prevent unloaded ender pearl stasis chambers. You'll tame the dog, and then you'll go down into entering the cell. This is to prevent you from just using an unloaded ender pearl stasis chamber. You will then actually go into the bed, the guard will kill you, and you'll respawn in the cell. Speaking of the cell, what does security to the cell have? Break any blocks, and a cell alarm triggers. Now, the entire cell is a netherite regenerating cobblestone generator. There's a roof detector, a floor detector, elder guardians, warden room with a suicide with a piglin ban, with really good systems, and even some interesting designs. Area bans that if you break any of them will be detected and will trigger the inner ban. And of course, countless layers of lava grid. And realistically, an absolutely sick exterior, which, come on, how do you even counter that? So, do subscribe while you're at it. Please, it took me a long time to build this prison. So here's some escape methods that won't work. Trying to pearl in from the top? Nice try. If you try to pearl into the unbanned area, then your ender pearl will get stuck in a soul sand elevator. So good luck with that. And even if you make it there, when you mine down, there's an entire roof detector which will trigger a suicide if you try to get in. Trying to mine in from the side? Yeah, it takes a while. But even if you manage to do it, after the countless amount of time, you'll finally get mining fatigue and you won't be able to go anywhere at all. Oh, and also, observation stations everywhere, so the warden and guards can see everything in the prison with ease. Think that wasn't enough? Let's move on to some more securities, because the entire thing is absolutely amazing. All of the designs are awesome, including the warden room, which has turn off cell alarm, dispense bread, a chunk kicker for the entrance process to check the players, and a shulker breaker just for items, of course. And when you climb up, an auto panic system. if your auto panic is set on, if you leave the game, it'll ban the entire prison. And a definitely convenient X-ray station that's not blocked by other guardians. Guard tunnels with this one-way door only for the warden. A summon warden button which will trigger a stasis chamber, triggering the warden back, so only the warden can access that room. And of course, realistically, the guard rooms have to have soul soil and water just for fun, because if you don't have it, then your prison is lame. Moving on, as you go through the tunnels, you'll see some of the guard rooms, including the main guard room with an auto panic, with a guard auto panic that's really basic, honestly. I didn't like it, but I just included it. I don't know, man, you never know. The warden has their own auto panic, which is better, but yeah. Even though it broke, that's fine. Now, of course, you'll see that right now the suicide is turned off. You can always turn it on with a command block. Escapes have to have the suicide turned on. This will not turn on the suicide, but this will allow the suicide to be triggered if necessary. Here you have all the guard beds, which you'll respawn right there. Of course, toggled with no blocks. You have a perfect X-ray station right into the cell where you can see everything. And an Ender Pearl stasis chamber, really useful. And even though I failed there, he could still make it and do. And if you want to get something back, really simple, not much effort putting into there. Now you can go around and move on to the next room. The next room is actually down this hallway. This is the first entrance control room. It basically just controls the entire beginning of the entry process, and then you have the second, that's the guard room, and then you're gonna have a second area, which is actually gonna be really nice because it will allow you to actually put the visitor or prisoner into the cell with a bunch of controls. Now, of course, as you move on, you will notice that there are a bunch of access tunnels. Right here, the guard can actually enter the visiting hallways by just clicking in with the one-way door, and if they climb up, they will be able to enter outside the cell where the visitor is to kill them if necessary. So just go down here, crawl, press the button, and then they'll be dropped down, ideally when the bridge is actually sent out so that you could drop. Anyways, how do you even trigger the bridge? Another guard room, which is right here. Here you have a window shield, which break any glass. Even if you could, because there's a lot of mining fatigue, it will of course trigger an observer, which will automatically pull down the window shield. Pretty redundant, I know, but a cool feature nonetheless. And of course you can reset it by just bringing it back up. Over here you have the flying bridge, and of course the unloaded Ender Pearl stasis chamber reaction mechanism triggered, which will actually suicide, of course.